Night used to be when the city caught its breath. Now, after the fractures, it's just another shift. Screens burn 24/7s with clips of molten roads, miracle dogs, and whispers about people lost in VR. The news never ends. The scroll never stops. In a windowless room, Cass Wu sits in front of 4 monitors, headset on, voice hoarse. She works the emergency call center's night shift. Lately, her job has changed. Ambulance, what's the address of the emergency? Yeah, he just collapsed. He hasn't slept in days. Ambulance, what's the address of the emergency? She's been awake 3 nights straight. She says if she closes her eyes, she can hear ticking. Cass rubs her eyes between calls on her 4th energy drink. Her hands shake. Every time she tries to nap, a panic button inside her brain jolts her back awake. The city's sleep is being stolen. On a rooftop high above, a man in a navy coat walks along the edge. Insomnia. Once, he was Dr. Ishan Rao, a sleep researcher. The fracture passed through his lab one night at 3:17 a.m., warping the experiment and his own frayed brain. Now, Insomnia never tires, and everyone near him feels the side effects. As he walks, a faint blue glow pulses at his temples. Apartments light up as people wake without knowing why. He doesn't see himself as a villain. He sees a world cracking and people wasting 1/3 of their lives unconscious while it burns. Below, a small cafe glows warm. Night shift brews, coffee for survivors. Inside, the owner, Brewmaster, watches the door. He got his powers when the fracture blew a valve on his roaster, hitting him with a cloud of superheated, hyper-concentrated coffee vapor. His heart should have exploded. Instead, he gained a strange ability. Now, he can spike the caffeine levels in anyone he focuses on, a gentle boost for a tired driver, a sharp jolt to stop someone from passing out. Cass stumbles into his cafe at 3:42 a.m., hands shaking as she orders a double espresso. Brewmaster can see she's running on fumes. "You should sleep," he says, sliding the cup her way. "I can't," she mutters. "Nobody can." She tells him about the calls, the people hearing ticking, the ones boasting about hustle nights with no sleep. He's heard it too. Customers bragging about 5, 6, 7 days awake. A new trend. Sleep later, win now. Suddenly, out on the street, Insomnia's wake-filled pulses, rolling down the block like a heat wave. In the cafe, customers who had been nodding off sit bolt upright. Cass feels the fuzziness in her brain burn away into brittle focus. Brewmaster feels it too. A pressure, pushing everyone toward more wakefulness than their bodies can bear. He realizes his power and Insomnia's are pulling in the same direction. He watches Cass lift the cup to her lips, and for the first time, he refuses to nudge the caffeine higher. "You don't need more," he says quietly. "If I stop." She starts. "You'll fall over," he says. Which is the point. At that moment, the door chime rings. Insomnia walks in. The ticking only Cass can hear gets louder. "Open late," Insomnia says, his voice smooth. "Good. People have work to do. Worlds to save." He looks at Cass. "Heroes like you don't have time to sleep." Something in her agrees. If she sleeps, what happens to them? Brewmaster steps between them. They're human, not machines. Insomnia smiles. "Machines break too. We just repair them." "That's what I'm doing. Cutting out the wasted thirds." His wake field flares. Cass feels her eyelids jerk open. Her heart hammers. She laughs, a little too brightly. "See? I'm fine. I can do another shift." Brewmaster watches, horrified. He thinks fast. His power can only push caffeine higher. But bodies have limits. Overstimulate a system, and eventually it crashes. He focuses not on Cass, but on the man in the navy coat. He grabs the faintest echo of a stimulant in Insomnia's veins and twists his power. In an instant, Insomnia's internal caffeine level spikes. Time splinters. Seconds feel like minutes, minutes like hours, all at once. His thoughts are not razor sharp, they're a blizzard. He sways. The ticking becomes a chaotic mess of metronomes. "What did you do?" he hisses. "Too much of anything is bad," Brewmaster says calmly. "Even being awake." The wake field flickers. Outside, people who hadn't slept in days suddenly slump, unconscious. Cass feels the pressure behind her eyes release, just a little. Insomnia staggers backward, the idea of losing even a second of wakefulness horrifying him. He glares at Brewmaster. "You can't stop what's started." "They don't know how to rest anymore." "Then I'll start with one street," Brewmaster replies. "One night at a time." Insomnia snarls and retreats into the night. The ticking fades. Cass slumps onto a stool. "Go home," Brewmaster says. "Sleep. The city will still be here when you wake up." She hesitates, then leaves, walking under a sky that, for the first time in weeks, feels like it might be allowed to get dark. Brewmaster knows Insomnia will be back. There's always someone who thinks sleep is the enemy. But now he knows he's not the only one who can touch the night. The fractures keep spreading. The stories keep piling up. And in another part of the multiverse, someone else is about to wake up with a very different problem. Every sneeze they make rewinds the world by a year. To see what happens when time itself starts hitching on a sneeze, continue with episode 10, Sneezy and Sneezer. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.